Very warm welcome to StudyIQ. I am Prashant Mavani. I hope you all are doing good. Let me ask you a question. Can you identify the persons that you can see on your screen? Give me the name of the person that is on your left and on your right. Stick your answers in the comment section. I am saluting our brave soldiers and martyrs on behalf of all of you, on behalf of StudyIQ family, and personally as well. I salute all these brave soldiers because they are the ones who are providing us this safe environment. Dear friends, today we are celebrating 19th Kargil Vijay Divas. President Ramnath Kovind ji, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu ji, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi today led the nation in paying homage to martyrs of Kargil war on 19th Kargil Vijay Divas. It was back in 1999. Right when this Kargil hills were captured by Pakistan, and very bravely we snatched our hills from illegal occupation of Pakistan. Our defense minister, he has also paid homage to our martyrs at Amar Jawan Jyoti, that is in Delhi, India Gate, and our Lieutenant General Ranbir Singh has also said that Indian Army is ready to face any challenges, any sort of problems or contingencies at any front, whether it is line of control or line of actual control. A special topic that I have got for you guys is based on this article that was published in this newspaper Indian Express on 16th of July. The title is Justice More Accessible. It is written by Faizan Mustafa and Mahendra Sukla. Our focus will be on this argument that was presented in this Justice More Accessible article, that we need Sariah Courts, and Sariah Courts are good, and they are democratic, they are beneficial for our Muslim brothers and sisters. And we will argue that that is not the case here, because the first thing is that there is a huge difference between a term called court and arbitration center. Courts, you have judges over there. In arbitration centers, you have counselors. You don't have judges. So this is the first thing that we need to understand. The other thing is, as per our constitution, we have a judicial system, and there cannot be a parallel judicial system in our country. The other thing is, with arbitration centers or this mediation centers, right, both parties should agree that they are ready to take this path of sorting out whatever issues they have between them out of the court, right? So both the parties should be on same page. They should agree that they are ready to take this route of arbitration and mediation. Over there, as I told you, you don't have judges, you have counselors, and these counselors, they will not pass orders. They will help you, they will advise you, they will counsel you, and they will consult both the parties, and then they will take their stand. There is also one more argument in this article, that this sort of Sariah courts are operational in UK, Israel and other countries, but issues that we find in our country are very different from issues that people find in UK, Israel and other countries. Now, if we take example of UK's Sariah councils, over there they don't term it as Sariah courts, because over there as well they have independent judiciary. So in this Sariah councils that you find in UK, both parties, right, both parties voluntarily choose to use this method to sort out their civil as well as family disputes. The other thing is that if they don't find or if one party is not happy with the stand taken by this Sariah councils, then of course they can take, or they can knock the doors off of law or this independent judiciary of UK. The other thing is, if we even say that Sariah councils are all right for us, of course Sariah courts, as I told you, there cannot be a parallel judicial system. But for a matter of, for argument, if we say that yes, let's allow Sariah councils, but then as well, this cannot be given green signal by any private entity like AIMPLB. If we decide that we need this thing in our country, then the decision should come from the parliament of our country. There was this argument that this Sariah courts are working very well in Bihar and other states, and decisions are never challenged by people. But we need to understand this thing, that orders of Sariah courts are not always correct. And the other thing is that if there are no challenges against the decisions taken by this so-called Sariah courts, that does not mean that everything is all right. In fact, there are so many people out there who are part of this Sariah courts, and most of them are men, and the decisions that they take are, first of all, not legal, and the second thing is that they are more tilted in favor of men rather than being, it cannot be in favor of women or men. Law should be equal for everyone. So they don't follow this thing. This article was also claiming that the Supreme Court has never disapproved this Sariah courts, and this article also claims that this Sariah courts are following Quranic divorce, and they are not following this triple talaq and things like that. But we have some evidence that indicates that this people who are trying to promote this Sariah courts, they are in fact misleading our Muslim brothers and sisters, right? They are not giving that right information, and they are not showing them the correct path of our independent judiciary. Because if we argue this thing that they are not interfering with a law of the land, and if they are against this triple talaq and this sort of practices, then we have this case of Muzaffarnagar of Uttar Pradesh. You have a village called Kukda village, and in this village a father-in-law raped his daughter-in-law. This is a matter of shame, and it's a very disgusting thing. But this village panchayat, this so-called Sariah court judges, right, they passed a fatwa or a decree that this lady should treat this father-in-law as her husband from now on, and her original husband is not her husband anymore. That's what this village panchayat said, and of course this is illegal. This is not right. So the lady, she knocked the doors of Supreme Court, and finally the Supreme Court has declared this decision taken by, or this fatwa has been declared illegal as well as unconstitutional by Supreme Court. This article is also arguing that the Supreme Court has never declared Sariah courts unconstitutional. This is wrong as well, because Supreme Court has clearly stated in this Vishwa Lochan Madan versus Union of India case of 2005 that any fatwa that is issued by whatever body being not emanating from any judicial system recognized by law, it is not binding on anyone, including the person who had asked for it. Further, such an adjudication or fatwa does not have any force of law. So it's totally not acceptable by Supreme Court. So this baseless claim that we find in this article is absolutely not acceptable. This justice more accessible article is anti-constitutional and anti-Indian society too. Lok Sabha has passed Trafficking of Persons Prevention, Protection and Rehabilitation Bill 2018. The bill provides for prevention. It talks about rescue. It talks about rehabilitation of victims of this human trafficking. Human trafficking is a very, you can say, as far as this organized crimes are concerned, right, it is sometimes rank 2 or sometimes rank 3, and trafficking is basically, it's about trading in human beings, and this is done for forcing women into prostitution or begging. Many a times small kids, they are killed and their body parts are sold as well, like kidneys and eyes and hearts and other things. So to stop all these things, we need a proper body, and here we go. We are going to have this National Anti-Trafficking Bureau that will investigate all matters that are associated with trafficking. We are also going to set up anti-trafficking units at every district level of our country. This district level ATUs will investigate. They will make sure that this sort of things are prevented, and they will rescue and rehabilitate victims, as well as they will give protections to witnesses. our minister, dear Minister Menka Gandhiji, she has also said that this bill also is talking about compensation. It's talking about rehabilitation. It has a compassionate view, as well as it is victim centric. Forced labor, bonded labor, false marriage for begging, and all these things will be taken as human trafficking. Finance Minister has declared that Negotiable Instruments Amendment Bill 2018 has been passed from the Rajya Sabha as well. It was passed from Lok Sabha earlier on, but now it is passed from the upper house too. So now it will go to President for his consent. Now, as per this new bill, that is Negotiable Instrument Amendment Bill, say, for example, if person A has handed over a check to person B, and if this check gets bounced, then person B can knock the doors of courts, and courts under this new law can be empowered to issue this this order that 20% of total amount, if 1 lakh rupee is the total amount of this issue here, then 20,000 rupees will be paid or should be paid by this person A to person B, and if everything is all right, then person B will have to give that money back. So it's going to help us a lot with ease of doing business, because you know that people nowadays, they don't believe on checks as well, and there are so many cases that are pending. 16 lakh cases are pending in district and subordinate courts, and 32,000 cases are pending in high courts. Our Minister for Electronics and Information Technology has clarified that government is not going to snoop anyone. We are not going to keep an eye on our people and what they are doing on social media. So all this news that we are finding in media is totally baseless. He has said that government is committed to freedom of speech and expression and privacy. Privacy is a thing that was clarified by our Supreme Court in recent past. A very horrific thing took place in Bihar's Muzaffarpur, and this Muzaffarpur has got one center, where you find orphan kids. They are living over there. It's a sort of shelter home, and this shelter home is looked after by a NGO. This NGO is further accountable to Social Welfare Department, but what we find is that they are the ones who have raped more than 40. So far, what numbers that we have got is 44 girls were raped, minor girls were raped, and all these things was going on for a very long period of time. This is a matter of shame for our society, and particularly for the people who are supposed to look after orphan kids, right? They are the ones who are exploiting them. Last item is about Ramon Magsaysay Award. This Ramon Magsaysay Award is Asia's highest award, as well as Asian version of Nobel Prize. This has been bestowed to Bharat Vatwani and Sonam Wangchuk, and this award it was established back in 1957. It is Asia's highest honor as well, and Mr. Vatmani has been working for all those homeless people who are mentally suffering from mental disease. And mental disease is of course, any sort of disease is bad thing, but in our society there is a thing that if someone is mentally unstable, then that person will be treated very badly. I'm not saying everyone is doing this thing, but you find most of the time they are the ones who are on roads. They are sitting somewhere in a corner, right? They survive on this alms that they get, or by begging, whatever they can generate. They do survive on this thing, which is of course inhuman. So he has worked on this area, and Wangchuk, he is the main man, right? When we say main man, I'm talking about Three Idiots, and you know the role played by Amir Khan of Phunsuk Wangdu. And I'm sure we all have watched this film, and in the end you find that Amir Khan is living somewhere in Ladakh. So this gentleman here, Sonam Wangchuk, he's living in Ladakh, and he is looking after this community-driven education as well as learning programs. Other award winners are from Cambodia, East Timor, Philippines and Vietnam. That's everything in today's discussion. Thank you very much for your love and support. Enjoy your studies. As you know that you can download the PDF of this lecture from my FB page and Twitter handle, and make sure you share it with other people too. Thanks, goodbye, and again, heads off to our soldiers. Jai Hind.